Hi there, so today we're going to be using weights. So I've got some hand weights here, some small weight, I think they're ½ kilo these ones. I've also got kilo ones. If you don't have any weights at home, you could use a couple of cans of beans or soup. But the biggest weight I'd use would be a kilo. So coming down onto your back, and I want you to hug your knees into your chest one at a time, and then just rock from side to side, try and melt the back of your ribs down into the floor. Deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And just start to relax through your face and jaws, so heavy tongue. And then make circles with your legs. So you can guide the knees with your hands if you want, or let the legs do it together. Just glue the legs together, circling around, giving that lower back a little bit of a massage into your mat. Breathing into it. And then back the other way. And then resting the feet down flat on the floor. Knees are tracking straight out of your pelvis, so don't have your feet too far apart. You want the knees to be, the outside of your knees to be in line with your hips, the outside edge of your hips. Arms down by your sides, just make sure that your weights are on either side of you and the palms are facing down. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, tuck your tailbone, squash the lower back into the mat and then slowly peel up to the tips of your shoulder blades. Try to make sure you're heavy through the back of the shoulders, not your neck. Reach those knees over your toes, so we're making a nice straight line from your shoulders through to your hips to your knees. Plant your feet down into the floor, deep breath in at the top, and breathe out, soften from your breastbone, trying to get one vertebra at a time back down to the mat. Your tailbone comes down last. So just do a few to warm up the back. Try and be really light through the arms if they're on the floor, otherwise you could have the hands on the front of your hips, elbows down or lifted if you want to work a bit harder. And then softening all the way back down again. Let's do two more. Deep breath in at the bottom, breathe out, curling all the way up. Push the big toes down into the floor. Deep breath in at the top, and breathe out, softening back down again. And again. Gently squeeze your bottom when you're up there. Deep breath in, and breathe out, softening back down. Now I want you to get hold of your weights or all the cans that you've got. And then we're taking a deep breath in. We're going to do exactly the same. Now if you found that quite easy, you could do all of it on your tiptoes, so you keep your heels lifted throughout. If not, if you found it quite challenging, keep your feet flat. So I'm going to go with the heels lifted. Deep breath in, breathe out, tuck your tailbone. This time we're lifting the arms up to the ceiling. When we're there, we're squeezing the bottom. We're looking straight up, deep breath in at the top. Breathe out, soften from your breastbone. As you peel your back down, the arms come back down to the floor. Deep breath in and breathe out again. Coming up, weights go straight up to the ceiling. Squeeze your bottom, push down into your toes or your big toe, little toe heel if you've got your feet flat. Breath in at the top, breathe out, softening back down. One more, breathing in and breathe out. And curling back down. I want you to try a few with the arms going overhead, so deep breath in, breathe out, tuck the tailbone, peel yourself all the way up, take the arms up and overhead, squeeze your bottom, push the big toes down, deep breath in, breathe out, start to float the arms, and then start to peel the back down as normal. Two more, deep breath in, and breathe out. If you're ever feeling any tension in your hamstrings and the back of your legs, try and bring your feet slightly closer to your bottom. And then deep breath in at the top. Breathe out, curling back down again. Last one. Breathing in. As you breathe out, peel yourself all the way up. Nice straight line across the front of your body. Reach those knees over your toes. Deep breath in. And breathe out, curling back down. And then very gently bring one knee and the other into your chest. Give yourself a rock from side to side. Okay, next we're going to have our feet flat on the floor. Again with this, if you want to work harder, you can have your heels lifted, so you're just on your tiptoes. You're going to put the weights or the cans just at the front of your hips, so you're lightly holding them there. And this time, all we're doing is we're lifting our bottom straight up, squeeze your bottom, and then dip back down as if you're about to touch the floor, and then lift up again. So we're thrusting our hips forward and up, breathing in and breathe out. Squeeze your bottom, push the feet down into the floor. And again, so there's no change in your spine, you're just dipping, you're hinging from the front of your hips, dipping the bottom down. The angle of my spine is not changing at all. Breathing in at the bottom and breathe out. Let's do 5 more. If it gets too much, you could get rid of the weights or have your feet flat if you've got your heels lifted. Breathing in and breathe out. Last 3. Squeeze that bottom at the top. 2. And last one. And then calm back down, take the weights off, hug the knees once more, just gently rock yourself from side to side. Well done. Okay, from here we're going to hold on to the weights, and I want you to bring your arms straight up to the ceiling. Lift your shoulder blades up off the floor and then slot them back down so you can feel the mat or the floor fully with the back of your shoulders. We're going to bring one leg up into tabletop to start with, and I want you on your tiptoe on the other foot. We're breathing out, lengthening the same arm and leg forwards. Breathe in to bring them back. So same arm and go forwards, the other arm goes behind your head. The leg that's bent, you're keeping completely still. And we're only taking that long leg as low as you can go without any change in your lower back. So if you're lifting away in your lower back and you can't keep it controlled, then take that long leg a bit higher. Okay, you don't need to go so low to the floor. Breathing out. And breathe in. Last 4. Draw that belly button down towards your spine. 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides, so come up onto the tiptoes on your other foot, bring the other leg up into tabletop, try and keep that knee directly above your hip. And then again, same arm and leg go forward, breathe out, breathe in to bring them up. If you feel like you're doming at the front of your tummy, so you're lifting and arching in the lower back and the front of your tummy is lifting up, then take this long leg higher, okay? So breathing out to lengthen, breathe in to come back. Just watch that leg that's bent, make sure it's not trying to drop out to the side to help. We're keeping it pointing straight up to the ceiling. Last 5. 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then resting that foot and hand down. Now keeping your legs hip width apart, I'm going to show you from a different angle here, easier for you to see. We're going to take the arms up to the ceiling, you're lifted up onto your tiptoes again, heels are lifted, and then I want you to start taking one knee out to the side and then bring it back to the middle. Switch to the other side. So one knee goes out. If your other knee is trying to desperately pull out to the side to keep you balanced, stop there. So as soon as you feel your other leg having to try and help, you've gone wide enough with the knee. We're going to now add the arms into it. So we're breathing out to open up the leg and the opposite arm. So breathe out to open, breathe in to come back. But you've got to be able to keep the hip that's not moving, so the leg that's still, anchored to the mat, and the knee stays pointing up to the ceiling. Breathing out and breathe in. Let's do last 4. 3, 2, and last one. And then rest the weights down. Hug one knee into your chest, lengthen the other leg long, flex the toes on that long leg, and then bring that bent leg across towards the opposite shoulder. Now if your knee's not comfortable with you pulling on the front of the shin, put your hand behind the knee, underneath, and draw the thigh in towards you that way. So you can look away from the direction the leg is turning, and just bring that leg slightly across your body to feel that stretch down the side of your bum and your hip. Breathing into it. And then switching to the other side. Hug the knee in, lengthen your other leg long, and then bring it across towards the opposite shoulder. Deep breaths, relax your tongue and jaw. And then relax that leg down. And I want you to come up onto all fours now. I'm going to demonstrate this with the cans, because I'm imagining most people watching this won't have weights at home. You may do, in which case that's fine. I want you to put the hands over the top of the weights, and your wrists are right underneath your shoulders, okay? And your knees are right underneath your hips and hip width apart. We're going to lengthen one leg long and then reach the opposite arm off the mat. Okay, so you can see I'm lifting the can up off the floor and then resting back down. Switch to the other side, lengthen the leg along the floor, lift it, reach the opposite arm. So I'm looking straight down in front of my hands, so I've got a nice long neck. And when I lengthen, I'm not creating a big arch in my lower back by flinging my leg up really high. I'm keeping the leg long. And I want my lower back to stay completely still. So I'm not tipping when I transition my weight from side to side. I'm trying to keep that lower back as stable as possible. So if you feel that when you tip, you come out, you're hanging out onto one side and you're tipping, try and have your knees a little bit wider to start with. So breathing out to lengthen, hold it for a breath, and then bringing that arm and leg back to the centre. Let's do last 6. 5. So you can see this front arm is not coming higher than my shoulder height. I'm reaching the leg long and reaching the arm just out in front of me. Last 4. Breathe out to lengthen. And then coming back in. Last 2. And last 1. Now, if you have weights, round weights like me, or cans in front of you, put the fingertips on them, have your knees nice and wide, feet together, and then roll the weights away, or the cans, and drop your head through your arms. Breathing into it, and just shift your weight from side to side. So just sway your bum from side to side. Try and make your bottom really heavy. Deep breaths. Try and melt the front of your ribs down towards the floor, relaxing your tongue and jaw. And then coming back up. Now we're going to lie on our front now and just do a little bit of work for our arms and back. So again, I want you to have your cans or your weights in your hands. So your forehead is down. If you have glasses or it feels really uncomfortable on your nose, just grab yourself a little cushion to put underneath your forehead so it's a bit more comfortable. Weights are in the palms of your hands and your arms are right beside you. We're taking a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, you're squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting the shoulders up off the floor, and then we're lifting the arms, just floating them just off the mat. And then we're going to start bouncing the balls, imagining we're bouncing them, or the weights. So little tiny pulses with the arms. You're drawing your belly button up, and you're slightly tucking your tailbone, pushing down into your pubic bone. You're slightly squeezing your bottom as well, but your feet are staying down. So we're doing tiny little pulses. If you're feeling this in your neck, I would suggest doing it without any weights. But if it's just the back of your arms and the back of your shoulders working, that's fine. Breathing into it. And then turn the weights over if you can. And we're going to start bouncing them. Imagine we're bouncing them on the floor. Breathing into it. Deep breaths. We're working the back of the arms and shoulders here. And then I want you to take the arms out to about 45 degrees, palms are facing up again, and we're imagining we're bouncing those balls again up towards the ceiling. Little tiny pulses. Breathing into it, and then palms face down, and we're doing little bounces on the floor again. Breathing into it. Try and relax your face and jaw, and then bring the arms back to your sides, palms facing up. Little tiny pulses up towards the ceiling, holding it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting down. And then bring your hands underneath your forehead and just give yourself a sway from side to side. And a few deep breaths here. Okay, then I want you to come up onto all fours, and we're just going to do a few cat and cows. So your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are hip width apart, spread your fingers out, take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, tuck your tailbone, actively lift up away from the floor, drop your chin to your chest, deep breath in, breathe out, drop back through your shoulders away from your ears. And again, tuck the tailbone, scoop your belly button up, breathing in, and breathe out to move back through your shoulders away from your ears. One more. And then we're going to tuck your toes underneath, come up into our up stretch or downward dog if you've done yoga, bending one knee, straightening the other, pad through the feet, push those heels down towards the floor. Drop your head through your arms, and you're taking the weight to the heels of your hands and the heels of your feet, breathing into it. Last 3. And last one.